Chaos. Okay, so uh, now that I'm well rested and not so sleepy, let's see how much actual content we can get into a video without being really silly. And I kind of know what I'm doing with the program for recording anyway. Let's start a new one. Alright, so can I resize this? I guess not. Can move it over a little bit more. This is your stage right here. I'm going to hit Control minus, Control plus, Control minus zooms out. 50% seems to be the smallest you can get. This over here is your properties panel. Down here, this is your timeline and your elements that are on the timeline. This is just a stack of elements that will appear here, and the library is going to keep a list of any images you've imported or symbols you've created or fonts you've imported or you're using. Okay, so let's start with something simple. I'm going to draw a circle. See, now it appeared down here on the timeline. I'm at 0 time right now. Let's see. I'm going to hold down Shift, which should constrain it to circular. Zoom in. I think some programs you have to hold Shift to constrain it. Let's see, Control's not doing it. It's letting me stretch it out to whatever shape I want. Shift is constraining it. You can see that the well, it's an oval, so it's technically called the eccentricity, but it's the ratio of the width and the height of an oval. It's staying the same because I'm holding down Shift. If I let Shift go, now I can stretch it this way and that way. If I try, that's pretty close to a perfect circle. Hey! Okay, so that's pretty close to a perfect circle. Now I'll hold down Shift. There we go. Now I can scale my circle up or down. And you can see over here in the properties, it's at 82x and 38y. It's 183 by 185, so I'm going to change this to 183. So now it is a perfect circle. Hey! Okay, disconnect that so that now they are separate. 183, because otherwise it's just going to rescale it. Now I can lock them together, and now if I scale it, oh, never mind. Obviously not quite ideal. Adobe should work like other programs. It needs to be a little bit more like a graphics editing program. And once again, I wish they had the time there. Okay, so there's that. And you see it's here. Now I'm going to drag this. I'm going to zoom out on the time scale a little bit. You can see the seconds, more seconds. Now there's 8 seconds and 8.5 seconds in view. I'm going to go to say 4 seconds. 4 seconds, we want the ball to be, or the circle to be here. And let's say we want it to be, well, red, because that's right there. And okay, that's off. The auto keyframe thing is off, but I changed the color, so let's set these little diamonds will set a keyframe. So bam, you see right here the background color has been marked at 4 seconds as being red. And if I go back to 0, well, there's no keyframe. Red's the only color it knows, so I'm going to add another keyframe. and I'm going to make the value of it, say, green. Enter. So you see at 0 seconds it's showing that it's green. At 4 seconds it's red. So from this diamond to that diamond. From this keyframe to that keyframe, it goes from green to red. To preview it, you can hit this, or you can hit space if you want to preview it in the actual program. So you see green turns kind of brown, and then orange, and then red. Okay, so it's animating background color. Here, let's go back to 4 seconds. At 4 seconds, I want it to be where it is right now. So I'm going to mark the X and the Y coordinate. So you see left 71, top 74, which is what they are right now. And it's saying, okay, we've added keyframes for these two properties for this object, the ellipse. These belong to this object. There are no keyframes for it so far to start from. Let's put it up here. Now we'll mark a keyframe again, and I don't think it's going to animate that because it's not showing a bar transition effect happening there. So it's up off the screen, and okay, it changed it for both. So down here, there we go. Now it's got the transition in there. So zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole thing when I preview it with the spacebar. From 0 to 4 seconds, it moves from off the screen to right there. Okay, well that's not very fun. If you click this, you can apply what's called easing. By default, it's linear, which means it just moves in a smooth, steady state. Ease in means it's going to apply the easing at the beginning. Ease out means it's going to apply it at the end of the animation. So I'm going to do ease out, and then here's different easing functions. And this line represents basically how it's going to affect it as far as time. You can see the most drastic is elastic, which is going to go beyond the point, then come back. You can see here it's going to go beyond. Say it's going to stop here, this slightly gray line. It's going to go beyond it, and it's going to bounce back above it, and then it's going to go bounce. So it's going to bounce like a rubber band kind of effect. Whereas bounce is actually going to go to the line, and then bounce away from it, and then bounce to it, and so it will have a bouncing ball effect. So we're going to do that. So I can double click that, and it will apply it. You can see it here is a different profile. Now I can preview it again. It's going to go down, and I didn't select the I didn't select this, so it didn't apply it to that. So yeah, I selected these two properties are going to be animated. Those are what I want to apply the easing effect on. So now, boing, 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 boing. Okay. I'm going to change it back to linear for a moment, because if I select that, then it will select all the properties of that are going to be animated. And I'm going to select bounce again. I'm just going to click it once, then hit enter. Now it's applied it, and it's applied it to all three properties being animated. So you should see the colors do a kind of bounce effect also. See, it kind of turns red, then back towards green, and then back to red. So